It is repetition which makes for perfection.
Let's start with the arch of her back, like that. All right, there's the pelvis, the rib cage, sockets for the arms, the chin turned down, her looking at us, eyes glowing, water under, hair underwater. The hands out. This is the first attempt. I'm feeling like it's a little staticky, so I'm going to change this and have her looking up. Thank you. My lunch is here. Just for a bit of a more exotic pose. And then maybe her hand, given that she's a queen, or it's more regal. It's like Oprah, iPad for you, for you, for you, right? Collarbone there. And then maybe her hips are turned more in space. Or not. Maybe it's actually squared off. So it turns. So we have a bit of a twist in her body. I'm feeling that a little bit more. All right. And we get down here. Oh, foot. Don't want to draw that. Sorry. Almost ruined the stream. Shoulder goes back there. Bicep you can't see. Forearm will be down here. Maybe the hand opens up like she's holding a baseball. Right? Although that hand is pretty massive. So we'll just shrink it a little bit. Okay. Groovy hair silhouette like that. And then the water flowing out this way. What's for lunch? It's rice with tofu from a place called Cafe Aroma. It's pretty good. If you live here in Studio City, LA. Almost looks like a phoenix effect, but it's water. Thank you very much. Way cooler than fire. Okay. And we'll draw some coral here. And then okay. All right. Basically, she's got her eyes closed, but she's looking at the bottom of her eyes at us. I think it's there. I think it's. Sorry. I feel pretty good. This was the hardest part of the sketch. Not counting the feet. Pats or Steelers? Who do I want to win? Is neither a viable answer? NFC all the way, babe. B. Um, Hair underwater? Faces are easier to draw. I would say the hardest things to draw are like gigantic cityscapes. Although technically drawing each building is not that hard. It's just, you know what? Let me amend that question. Things that take a lot of time to draw are, intense backgrounds, lots of figures. But in terms of like what's difficult to draw, sometimes like a upshot or a downshot is tricky. People doing very natural things like holding hands, that kind of stuff, can take more attempts to get it right. Okay. Make sure I'm in frame. Thank you. Appreciate all you guys' support. It's very kind of you. Ah, head in the way. This whole setup that I've done, it's new, but I have to basically, where the camera is, the reason why I never set it up this way is that I was streaming a lot more, and I wanted to have a setup where I can kind of just roll in, sit down, and start drawing. With this setup, it took me, like 40 minutes to get this all set up. I got to basically dismantle it and start over again every time because you can't really have a working studio and have these cameras where there are. It's super inconvenient. Thank you very much, Phantom 1219. How to draw creepy monsters, someone asks. How do I draw poses? You could pose yourself, look in the mirror, and then look where your arms and limbs are, and then try to remember those positions when you draw it. But in general, I would say contrapposto, I think, or something like that, contrapposto. Twisting the hips and the rib cage in opposite directions gives you a lot of dynamic movement, as they say. Thank you very much, guys. Tell you, I've enjoyed this stream. It's been too long. Kind of start forgetting kind of like what streams are like if you don't do them or participate in them. So I'm drawing the individual clusters of hair, but at the same time I'm very aware of the overall shape that I'm creating. Right, drawing the tree, but I also want to be very careful and aware of the total shape dimensions of the forest. All right. Now these tendrils of hair are looking very much like the shimmers of metal on the costume, but I'm going to go in and add scales on the costume. So hopefully that will better differentiate the two. I want to give you guys the optimal maximum amount of textures possible. Don't want to shortchange anybody. Okay, so here we go. Again, that whole path of, it's a mix of shimmery lines and scales. I'm legally required to say Jonella from the Philippines each and every time he cheers from the Philippines. Okay. I think next time I'm going to take my hat off. I just realized the brim of it. Where were you guys at the beginning of the stream? All these great ideas. It has a little bit of a Dazzler, if you Google Dazzler, Marvel Comics issue 1 from like the 80s, I think it was a John Romita senior painting. This gives me a bit of a vibe. Am I right? Just sending that message than the actual number of bits. Enjoy your cruise. I assume you're there with your family. I've not done a Disney cruise yet, but someday soon. I've done other cruises. Okay. Superhero swimmer art. I had Pop Tarts. I misread that for 1 second, but yeah, Pop Tarts are awesome. My favorite are frosted blueberry or frosted strawberry. I don't know how anyone eats those Pop Tarts that aren't frosted. It's like dry, gritty sandpaper Pop Tarts. Not judging people with no taste. I mean, not judging. Sorry. You know that the word gullible is not in the dictionary? It's true. Look it up. Good one. Good one. Yes. Good one. Ren just Googled it. Oh my gosh. Ren, on my websites, everything's an ad for like Panerai watches, dude. What have you got me into? How does my browser know? It just knows. Oldie but a goodie. I taught my kids the other day, like, I'm the rubber, you're the glue. Whatever you say bounces off me, it sticks to you. They're like, what the hell is wrong with our father? What the? I'm not sure. When in doubt, restart your device. Good, honestly. I'm not like PK level, poop kid level, but I would say turning your device on and off solves about 80% of your problems. I like that one. I like that one. I just wish I had a more interesting reading face, right? We have resting faces. My reading face is one where I literally, like, all intelligent thought has left my brain. Before, I was just trying to get this done so I can get my food while it's still warm. I am now resigned to the fact that I will have to reheat it up. You know what? Maybe Spider-Man webbing is easier. I'd be done by now. Just saying. I've gotten this far without drawing feet. Why would I change? What incentive is there? After the new year to mail stuff out, unless you insist on having stuff mailed out. Just let me know if you want me to chance it that someone will come up to your doorstep and steal the package. I'm just shopping so much online these days. It's crazy. All right, what do we got going on? Can we insist on a voodoo sketch while we're at it? Microns, yes, I'm using microns. Who wants to head out in the stores now? Yeah, it's. I went to the mall once. I was trying to go no times, but I went one time. I went to one store. Everything else I did online. Which I really shouldn't be encouraging. You guys should go to your local comic book shops, give them some support. Some lovin'. Maybe pull that in a little bit more. Blend it in a little bit more so transitions a little bit better from light to dark. Basically Greek out some element of a foot. Okay. Boris the Blade 76, what do you think this is? An online interview? Hey, Jim Lee, U.S. troops in Syria, pros and cons. Go. I just realized I should probably have the water going around in a circle like this. So I'm going to course correct, as we like to say. My shoulder is doing better, thank you. It still pinches a little bit, But compared to the way it was even just a month ago, it just made a big turn. And so I would say it's taken something like 8 months to kind of get to a point where it's not too bad, but still not 100%, which is crazy when you think about injuries, right? Twin12, this is beautiful. Well, thank you, Twin12. You're beautiful. What's new, Scooby Doo? Says Fizzies. Hope it gets better. Yeah, thankfully, the shoulder really didn't impinge on the drawing too much. There was when it was at its worst, it did affect it. Kind of sucked, but I don't really feel it so much anymore. Certainly when I draw. Happy now? That's a bummer, dude. That's exactly what happened to me. I'll tell you, though, that I'm glad I didn't go the surgery route. Trying to imagine what would have happened if I did that. TJ. I am going to write Merry Christmas. I wish I had come up with that myself. Maybe I would have on my own. If only I could go back in time and replay that and see what would have happened without looking up at. I think the internet is it's just a series of spam. Roy Batty, Jim can't give the chat credit. I don't know. I feel like I would have come up with it on my own, man. I don't know. It's not that hard. All right, I'll give the chat credit. Crowdsource my credit. So many bubbles. Bubble bath. With bubbles and little details like this, I always think, okay, that bubble there, that added 2 more viewers. That one there, 2 more people are going to buy the comic. This one here adds a buyer from Canada. Oh, and here these are people from Italy that are like in this bubble. When does it make a difference? When does it stop making a difference? Obviously, bubbles do make a difference. You want to see the bubbles, but how do you know exactly how many make an impact? When can I stop? I don't know. I'm not deciding. At some point, there'll be something inside my head that will just say, no more bubbles, and I'll be done. But I'm not actively thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not this time. I got to split. I got to eat, and my stomach is growling, and there's things I have to do. So sorry I cannot accommodate right now. not for the last time this year, but let's thank our mods, our incredible mods. We have Kirihiko Mod Prime. We have Ren Elephant. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you heartily. Kira, before we go to the giveaways, you want to send me who we're going to raid afterwards. If you guys are so inclined, afterwards we go and kind of drop in on them, lend our support, pepper them with inane questions, recognition. Oh, this chat. I believe Thursday and Friday. Check out Discord for details on that. All right? The randomness to make it look more realistic. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out on a Sunday with us here. It's great seeing everyone. It's been too long. Okay, the last bit of splatter and I'm done. Okay. I will post this up into Discord eventually on social, but I guess I usually post it to Discord first.
It is repetition which makes for perfection.